What is up, boys and girls? It doesn't get any better than live. Right now, it's a special weekend edition of the RCWR show. We're bringing it on to YouTube, but those of you that are used to checking out our weekend edition of the RCWR show on the downloads, have no fear. We're going to be hooking you guys up. As if you're listening at this point, we're probably going to be hooking you up right now. But we're doing this live webcast for YouTube for the first time ever. We're going to do this as a little bit of an experiment. What I want to do on this special weekend edition of the RCWR show, we're going to tackle the Night of Champions card that's going to be coming up this Sunday, but we're also going to mix it in with some very major breaking news, as I don't know how many of y'all have been following it. We tried to stay on top of this earlier in the day. More information has come about since, but first things first, Roman Reigns, it looks like he is going to be out of action for at least a little bit. He actually had to go emergency surgery for a hernia. Now, we had first broke the news to you all about that on YouTube earlier this afternoon, and we've been staying on top of it, trying to get as much information as possible. All the information has been coming from WWE. We were actually the first to break the news, so if you were following WWE on your tablet, smartphone, whatever, respective mobile device, your desktop or whatever, you would have received the alerts letting you know about Roman Reigns and everything. And the way it's being looked at right now, this is kind of like a touch and go situation. Now, we told you guys how a hernia can come about and all that, so if you all are new to the term hernia, you don't know what it is, you can go backtrack to the video that we did earlier in the day on YouTube. But in a new update with regards to this, and I'm actually pulling it up right now on my Samsung Galaxy here, this is the new update that WWE had to say with regards to Roman Reigns' condition. Now, they spoke with WWE physician Chris Amon, who stated that who stated that the wrestler's condition was not related to any in-ring activity. I repeat, WWE physician Chris Amon stated that the wrestler's condition was not related in any type of way to recent in-ring activity. Direct quote, Roman has had a pre-existing hernia for some time, which unfortunately had become actually painful, which led to him going to the emergency room in Nashville. He was found to have a large hernia that was unable to be reduced, which means pushed back into the abdominal cavity. As a result, it was necessary to perform an emergency operation to open up the hernia sac and try and push it back into the abdominal cavity. So this is kind of similar to what had happened with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and one of those last go-rounds that he met up with John Cena at WrestleMania. I'm sure you guys had heard about that. Rock went out there, torn hernia and all. Yeah, that could be a tongue twister. You got to watch it right there. Torn hernia and all. And as a result of that, I'm sure you guys remember, especially you guys that follow movies, you follow The Rock's career, that actually had sidelined him for several weeks, as I think at the time he was attached to do the Hercules project, so filming on that had to go on a brief hold while he had got all that taken care of. Amon added that the hernia suffered by Reigns is different from a sports hernia. He said that Roman's injury is actually that's a tongue twister, inguinal hernia, which can sometimes come from sports, but might also be present at birth. And it's worth noting that the Mayo Clinic's online definition of an inguinal hernia describes it as a condition that isn't painful by itself, adding that hernia doesn't get better or go away on its own. However, and it can lead to life-threatening complications. Mayo Clinic staff also note that the inguinal hernia repair is a common surgical procedure. So as it stands right now, Roman has been transferred to a recovery area. He's doing well. Doctors will continue to monitor his progress with a particular focus on preventing infection. and ensuring that his intestinal functions return to normal. He may be discharged from the hospital as early as tomorrow, being Sunday. Now, according to Dr. Aman, typical recovery time for a condition like this is approximately 4 to 6 weeks. So, really, just depends. But given Aman's professional opinion, he is looking at likely closer to 6 weeks that Roman Reigns will be out of commission. So, I mean, you're just thinking about the timetable right now as far as a Roman Reigns return. I'm actually looking at the next batch of calendars, or correction, I'm actually looking at the next batch of pay-per-views for WWE on the calendar. Now, October 26th, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually going to be WWE Hell in a Cell. So you're just thinking about the fact that here we are right now on September 20th. Hell in a Cell is going to be coming up on October 26th. That's basically about a month away. That's like 30 days away. So you might as well just say 4 weeks, maybe kind of plus that a little bit. All right. So no, I don't see Roman Reigns returning in any type of an in-ring capacity at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but we may see him maybe be part of the post-show panel. Maybe he might have something to say during the course of the actual pay-per-view. I can see something like that play out. Maybe give an exclusive interview or whatnot. But the pay-per-view after that, which is going to be Survivor Series, that's going to be on November 23rd, St. Louis, Missouri. I could actually see a scenario playing out, just looking ahead, where Roman Reigns might be involved in some type of a tag match. I mean, this is definitely a situation right here where WWE, they need to do everything that they can to protect Roman Reigns and make sure that he's going to be good to go if and when the time comes next year where he's possibly going to be crowned the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. They definitely could do a solid job in protecting him from this moment going forward. Survivor Series 2014, definitely a very smart idea to bring back the traditional 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 Survivor Series elimination tag match. Roman Reigns could be part of that. Let the supporting cast really be the ones to kind of help get him over during that match and all that. I could definitely see something like that play out. Could he be ready to go on his own in singles competition, maybe by tables, ladders, and chairs, which is going to be happening on December 14th? Very well possible. It really just depends on his recovery process and how much physical activity that WWE puts him in. But big breaking news right here. A lot of feedback I've been seeing from you guys that have been commenting on Roman Reigns throughout social media. A lot of you guys are like, Matt, hope this man gets better. This is a major blow right now for the WWE. This is the last thing that they need right now. A lot of you all bringing up very valid points, such as, my God, look, we don't have CM Punk. Daniel Bryan's out. Batista's off doing movies. Now look, we got Roman Reigns. Now what's going to happen? One of you had said, this is why WWE needs to have a really good backup plan be in the works, because when you have a guy like Roman Reigns, who it's obvious the company is trying to build a company around, when you have him go out, it's kind of like, okay, now what are we going to do? How are we going to make up for this? And honestly, the fact that he's only going to be out for a few weeks, I think this is a blessing in disguise, because I got to tell you, the way I've been watching the WWE product within recent weeks, Roman Reigns has just been on this non-stop juggernaut course. I mean, you put the people in front of him, and Roman Reigns has just been going through them. We haven't seen him pick up a defeat yet since he's been flying in singles competition while it's being dubbed the Roman Empire and all that. So I actually think it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise that the Roman Empire has taken a little bit of a hiccup, at least for now. Not to mention this, maybe if it already hasn't begun, maybe it'll kind of just quiet it down a little bit. But I'm sure there's at least a small group of people that have been looking at the Roman Empire and they've been feeling as though it's being crammed down their throat like John Cena. Some may probably be a little bit relieved by this piece of news because now it's going to force WWE to shake things up for the next couple of weeks in a big way with their roster until Roman Reigns can come back. You know, as always, when you have a situation like this where you got a fresh, young, hungry guy that is fastly moving up the ranks, and all of a sudden he's taken out of that equation. It sucks. It does hurt, I'm sure, for the boys in the back, but at the same time, this creates an opportunity for those to step up. So I'm very curious who's going to be stepping up in the next several weeks. But with the current roster that WWE has right now, luckily the timing is on point as Dean Ambrose just got done filming his new movie for WWE Studios. Timing of this is going to be very good. Honestly, I think the 6 weeks is going to go by very, very quickly. Another, somebody brought up a very interesting point, and I wish I could remember the person's name right now, but unfortunately I can't. But they had said, you know, it's interesting. When Daniel Bryan had got his injury, there was a lot of, oh, Daniel Bryan, get better. Hope everything goes okay for you. Nothing but the best. But instead, a majority of the fans were like, yes, frickin' A. Now we can be done with this stupid yes movement, silly crap. Now we can go on to Real's man of a man as a possible champion or a bona fide WWE superstar. And when you just pay attention to the type of feedback that's been coming in for Roman Reigns, a lot of people have been like, it's just almost been unanimous. Oh, hope he gets well. You know, he has a speedy recovery. Everybody's been nothing but nice towards Roman Reigns, but Daniel Bryan, a completely different set of circumstances. And I can definitely remember vividly sitting in the seat right now, mind you. So it sucks that Daniel Bryan has to go out on this injury. Sucks he's going to be out for a good minute. Wish him nothing but the best. Hope he has a really good, speedy recovery. But I looked at the situation and I said, okay, now who's going to step up? What's going to happen? Now, I actually at no point was excited or was relieved in the fact that here he is. He's now out of the equation. And it's kind of like, okay, now I never operated like that. So I just think it's kind of interesting how people have been reacting to this. I don't know if you guys are noticing it, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say with regards to that. We'll actually follow up on you all's comments as early as our Monday night live edition of the RCWR show, which we'll do here on YouTube exclusively for you guys. But once again, the way things are looking right now, Roman Reigns is going to be out of action for at least the next 6 weeks. Just remember how I mapped everything out, as I would not be surprised if WWE were to operate like this. Let's continue on now, and let's jump into the WWE Night of Champions card, shall we? Originally, we were supposed to do this earlier for you guys, but we got sidetracked with the big news on Roman Reigns that I had actually decided to just hold this live special off for a few hours until we have more information on Roman Reigns and everything. And by the way, you're checking out the RCWR show. Your host right here, Black Avenger, a.k.a. the Black Astro Lee Sanders. Please go out of your way. Make sure you give this a thumbs up. You can also share a number of ways. Facebook, Google+, retweet. One of the many ways you can spread a good word about our content. All right? And while I got you guys' attention, if you love all things WWE, if you were a big fan of Chuck Palumbo, after you get done with this, go piggy on back, check out my exclusive conversation that I had with Chuck Palumbo. It's on our YouTube channel under Guest Exclusives. 40 minutes of sweet bliss. We covered a lot of topics. If you are a Sean O'Hare fan and you remember when Palumbo had teamed up with Sean O'Hare, some very good things that he had to say with regards to Sean O'Hare's passing, things of great encouragement that's very enlightening, inspiring. Check it out when you guys get a chance if you haven't already. Let us continue on now. All right, so we got Night of Champions coming up. It's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, not too far from a certain company that also has three unique letters, who did their own, what some would say, a poor man's version of a WWE Night of Champions pay-per-view. I can accept that argument. That's no problem at all. You guys know the company I'm talking about. I shouldn't have to mention it, but it's kind of interesting that it's going to be happening in their backwoods. I wonder if possibly WWE may take little quiet, subtle shots at this promotion. We shall wait and see. Night of Champions, though, it's always one of my favorite pay-per-views from the WWE. Every single championship is on the line, guaranteed. Every single championship is going to be on the line this year. No different. We've got a 1 hour long pre-show that's going to kick things off. Chris Jericho is going to be a guest on the Peep Show hosted by Christian. Yes, Christian finally is going to be coming back in front of main WWE programming in a sense, but you're only going to be able to see this on the WWE Network, which you can check out for, I can't remember the price right now. It'll come to me when I least expect it. But anyway, so we got that happening, 1 hour long special. I would think that during that special, they're probably going to make the announcement of what's going to be happening as far as Roman Reigns' replacement to take on Seth Rollins. To follow up on what I said earlier today, 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to go the Dean Ambrose route, which should make a lot of fans happy. Actual card, let's talk about it right now. One of the first I want to tackle is the Chris Jericho taking on Randy Orton. So we got a little bit of a backdrop right here. Randy Orton attacking Chris Jericho on Monday Night Raw, basically because it was the season premiere. Randy Orton was looking to make a statement and everything. Chris Jericho trying to get a little bit of payback right here in this matchup. We all know in the back of our minds Chris Jericho tying up all remaining missions to World Wrestling Entertainment, as he's going to be touring with Fozzy. He's also going to have his book come out in just a little bit. He is just going to be on one mad busy schedule. He's already announced on his podcast that he may be back sooner than expected. So, you know, I don't know. Interesting matchup right here. A lot of people are under the impression that maybe we're going to see Jericho one more time on Monday Night Raw. Who knows? As it stands right now, doesn't look like Jericho is on the itinerary. He's not being promoted for the next Monday Night Raw coming up after the Night of Champions event. These two should be able to deliver a very good classic matchup right here. I mean, this isn't the first rodeo between Jericho and Randy Orton. I wonder if maybe this might be the match that kicks things off for Night of Champions. I think it'd be pretty badass if so. You know, I can't help but kind of wonder, based on the events that happened in the Peep Show, is maybe Christian going to make some type of entrance? You know, if I was booking this, all right, and this is the fun part about our Call That Match special, is I try to look at everything from a really standpoint, because I got a little bit of an experience as a writer and all that, writing my own comic books and stuff. You know, I would be paying very close attention to Chris Jericho's interaction with Christian. Christian has been fully recovered from the last couple of rounds of concussions for quite some time now. WWE has just been in this unique position where they just have been trying to figure out what to do with him. So it's basically one of those cases where creative has nothing for you right now. But I would be paying very close attention to what happens during the Peep Show, because whatever happens during that Peep Show, it could explain a lot going into Jericho's match with Randy Orton. Is Christian maybe going to stir the pot up a little bit between Jericho, Randy Orton? Or, is it going to be a case where maybe Christian tries to use it as a opportunity to try to put the spotlight on himself? If I was booking this, I would definitely have there be some type of friction between Jericho and Christian, which would then play a part in the Jericho versus Randy Orton match. I could see an angle play out where maybe Christian feels as though he was disrespected by Jericho during his peep show. Maybe he helps Randy Orton pick up the victory. Now you could have a scenario that could play out where maybe Jericho, Christian, maybe they collide on Raw. Chris Jericho, just when you think you're done seeing him, something else weird usually happens, and it's like, oh wow, we get another Chris Jericho appearance. But it's very possible that Christian could be physically be playing a huge part in that Jericho-Randy Orton match. So I would be paying very close attention to what goes down at that pre-show. But as far as the winner goes between Jericho and Orton, I honestly would need to see, if it was me, I actually want to see Randy Orton go over. I think as it stands right now, if you got Jericho exiting, too many times fans have seen Jericho pick up the win and then he gets his ass handed to him and then he's gone for a couple of months or whatever. I think in this case, they need to do it right. Now, look, a lot of people probably still remember what had went down with Bray Wyatt, Chris Jericho at SummerSlam. Bray Wyatt picked up his W, but then when he goes into that Monday's WWE Raw, he pretty much gets his ass handed to him by John Cena, as well as the other members of the Wyatt. All of them got their asses handed to them by John Cena. Upset a lot of people. Felt that Jericho did right by Bray Wyatt, having Wyatt go over him, but in the end, WWE kind of got it wrong. So, learning from that past history right there, you would kind of think that maybe they would go in this route where, since Randy Orton is the one that is going to need the momentum to constantly have himself be in that conversation storyline-wise for the WWE Championship, that booking-wise it would make sense for him to go over hook or by crook. I'm looking at Randy Orton to go over. Let's continue on. We got the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, taking on Goldust, Stardust. Tag Team Championships on the line. Oh, man. Am I the only one that really does not care about this tag team match? No disrespect to the Usos. Phenomenal tag team. Love them tremendously. Have no problem with them. Always been a fan of their work. But there's just something about this tag team rivalry that just doesn't really have me go, all right, I want to see this. Maybe it's because of the overkill that's been happening within recent weeks. Maybe that's what's doing it for me. I don't really know. But is it going to be a damn good tag match? I have a feeling it is, even though we've already seen these guys lock up many times. It should be enhanced and heightened even more when these tag teams lock it up. Are we going to see new tag champions? That, my friends, is a very good question. Short answer, I don't think so. I don't think the timing is right about now, because Goldust and Stardust, I don't know what it is, but when we first saw this pair, it was very intriguing. It was like, whoa, especially when you looked at Cody Rhodes, you're like, wow, talk about a transformation right here. Now, a lot of people, they kind of feel like he has gone through so many different resets right now. This is probably going to be it for him. Maybe he's going to be shown the door. The guy's got such great athletic ability. I don't see WWE releasing this young man. I think it's just all about the timing and putting him in that right spot, but some would argue that he was in that right type of a spot. When you go back to when he was fired by the Authority, and then you had that tag match that came about where him his brother Goldust. They had took on the members of the Shield. Remember that, guys? It was at Battlegrounds, like dubbed one of the best tag matches of the year or whatnot. Yeah, you know, something has changed in the past several weeks with the Goldust and Stardust character to the point that it just does not feel interesting anymore. You know, they aren't quite getting the type of reactions that they used to get. It just seems like they're just very sporadic. You know, one minute it's like, oh, they're baby faces, then the next minute they're doing things that are heelish. Are they tweeners? What's going on right here? So I need to see a little bit more substance to this tag team. So for that reason, I'm looking at the Usos to retain over Goldust and Stardust. Mark Henry taking on Rusev. Lana, the lovely Lana, is going to be at ringside. I wonder how many of us are really going to be watching this match, and instead we'll be watching Lana. Shout out to my good broadcast partner, Titus Machiavelli. Mark Henry versus Rusev. All right, so we got Apollo Creed 2 basically taking on Trago. No, seriously, let's be serious here. Mark Henry taking on Rusev. It's going to be a damn good slobber knocker, as Jim Ross likes to say. I see this. This definitely ain't going to be no technical match, I can tell you that much right now. Just thinking about that ending for Raw with Mark Henry trying to rally up USA, get them behind him and all that. Is Mark going to be the one to go over Rusev? I don't think so. There is a reason why Rusev was involved in that main event segment, and honestly, I feel that they have something special planned for Rusev. I keep telling you guys, I've been saying it for months, it's possible that Rusev is getting a nice, pretty red, white, and blue bow put around his neck, and we'll be on a silver platter for return of a. That's be very wrong, but if it's not going to be a returning Kurt Angle, whether you guys like it or not, he could be fed to John Cena. And honestly, I actually don't have a problem with a Rusev John Cena match. How can we come about that matchup, though? I'll actually explain that later on. But for this match, I'm looking at Rusev over Mark Henry. Paige defends her championship against AJ Lee, Nikki Bella. Triple threat match. Divas championship on the line. Am I like the only one that's like looking at this and I'm saying, damn, poor Brie Bella? We've been talking about this off and on for the past several weeks as far as Brie Bella not really being able to seize the opportunity and command the spotlight when it comes to her and her mic work. She says the same things over and over again. She's really redundant. There's not really a lot of passion or energy, whereas Nikki, I mean, she's just been able to play to her strengths very well. She definitely has been outshining Brie more, and it's supposed to be one of those type of underdog stories where you're supposed to be very supportive of Brie. You're trying to root her on to ultimately get payback from Nikki, causing her the defeat at the hands of Stephanie at SummerSlam. But how the weeks have changed leading up to this pay-per-view, as now we have Nikki involved in this title picture instead of Brie. This speaks large volumes to me right here. Now, look, if WWE wants to do right by Brie and Brie fans, just to kind of keep the storyline going and all that, I've been saying it over and over and over again. Those of you that's been watching us the past several weeks, you know what I'm talking about here. Honestly, if I was booking this, I would have Brie interfere in this match. At some point, I would have Brie make a cameo, screw Nikki Bella out of the victory, All right, that continues their feud. But then again, the way it's looking when these two girls were initially feuding with one another, the fans haven't really been given a damn. So, is this a case right here where you continue to have a supporting cast involved in this? Honestly, I think what Paige, AJ Lee have been doing, I really feel they just need to be on their own little island with their own little rivalry. They really should not be mixed up in with the Bella twins, okay? And not to mention, Paige, AJ Lee have nothing to do with Total Divas, at least last I heard. So this really is a case right here where they're trying to do their best, creative that is trying to do their best and making you give a damn about one or both of the Bellas by intertwining them with some other divas that you all may really like and prefer to see. But if I'm booking this, I would actually have Brie sabotage this match. Now, as far as the end result on who's going to retain the championship, Paige, I would actually have Paige take advantage of a Brie interfering. Um, lets her focus on AJ Lee more. I can see AJ Lee coming real close to getting the championship back. Maybe it's just that one move, that Black Widow maker finisher, that submission move that she does. I'm getting it probably mixed up with Tara right now, but yeah, I'm telling you, if AJ Lee, if they were dubbing this right, if she slaps on that one move, she knows she's got Paige beat, but she's not going to get that move done on Night of Champions night. I got Paige retaining. Dolph Ziggler taking on the Miz singles match, Intercontinental Championship. Dolph has been proving himself very well, hasn't he? I see no reason to pick against Dolph Ziggler. This is a no-brainer, I think. Dolph Ziggler over Miz. I'm not going to go all in depth in the details on that. I think Dolph Ziggler has just been proving himself very well this go round and everything. I'm on the Dolph Ziggler bandwagon right now. Sheamus taking on Cesaro, United States Championship. I'm at a loss for words right here with this match. And these are two of my favorite guys, too. But, the way that they have been booked, man, it's hard for me to get into this matchup. I just don't have enough. What's the right analogy? Here's a good analogy. You see a flyer for a restaurant. It says, "Want to eat? Come to our place. We'll feed you good." And you have an address. That sounds pretty freaking lame, doesn't it? That's a pretty crappy flyer. You're probably going to look at it and you're probably going to go, whatever. Now, let's say you come across another flyer sharing the same wall, and it says burgers, fries, pizza, beer, soda, pool, bowling. Oh yeah, we got all that. Come in now, get yourself $10 off using the coupon attached at the bottom. And you see the name of the place. It's nice, it's colorful, it's got a nice little logo and all that. Got a nice little website. Everything that you need. You're probably going to look at that flyer and you're probably going to be like, that's actually pretty damn good. You're going to yank that coupon and you're going to go check out that place, right? With this match, I just feel that there really isn't enough substance to really make me want to get into this. Now, that's no disrespect to these men's in-ring ability. I know the in-ring ability is there. Not really that much substance, storyline-wise, getting into this. Is this a case right here where Cesaro, maybe he finally moves up a little bit and he gets the United States Championship? Honestly, I would be a little bit shocked if that were to come about. Cesaro has just been on one weird roller coaster. I mean, one minute you hear Cesaro has broken up with Paul Heyman, decided to part ways with one another, and then the very next week or 2 weeks later, you see Cesaro advocating for Paul Heyman, talking about, I'm going to fight for your behalf because, Paul, you are my friend, blah, blah. Well, if, you're friends like that, why couldn't you continue doing the whole Paul Heyman guy thing? What the hell? It just seems like this guy has been on one weird roller coaster ever since the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. I really thought he was like going places after that, but for some reason, it just seems like it's been the complete opposite. Could maybe this Sunday be the start of something new for Cesaro? Hmm. That's a very good question. I have been picking a lot of people to retain their championship. If I was booking this, I would create a little bit of shock value right now. I would actually have Cesaro go over Sheamus. If it was me, I would have the United States Championship. I mean, he's been the United States Champion before, but over again. And then that way, maybe, if this is something that WWE is thinking about, if they are thinking about fusing the United States Championship with the Intercontinental Championship, then you know what? I think you have the perfect ingredient as a United States Champion and a Dolph Ziggler as the Intercontinental Champion to make that unification match even be that much more, wow, all just eye-dropping and all that. But I'm going for a little bit of a twist right here on this card. I'm looking at Cesaro as your new United States Champion. One more match to talk about. Brock Lesnar taking on John Cena, WWE World Heavyweight Championship. A lot of people are looking at this and they're saying, you know what? It's very well possible that John Cena is going to walk away as the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I don't see that. I do not see that happening. Keeping in the back of my mind the new deal that Brock Lesnar has signed with WWE, where he is going to be making more Raw appearances as WWE needs it. Looks like he's also, I believe, going to be doing more pay-per-view appearances for the company as needed. Just looking at all that, if I were booking this, one thing I would do is I would have John Cena do exactly what he said he's going to do to Brock Lesnar, which is go into this match not looking to beat Brock Lesnar, but beat his ass. Make a point. I can see that happening. I can honestly see that happening. This is a match right here, if I was booking it right, I would have John Cena just come in there, just a completely different beast. We just see this man go to a place that he hasn't gone to in quite a long time. We need to see John Cena maybe go back to his Thugonomics route. Maybe kind of pull up that John Cena that was feuding with The Undertaker, and he was cutting those promos talking about how he'd piss on his grave and all that other good stuff. We see that hardcore, nasty thug John Cena come out and just really, really take it to Brock Lesnar. Take it to Lesnar in a way where the referee has to continuously get into John Cena's face, remind him, look, you're going to get yourself disqualified if you keep doing this. Back away, back away. Is it going to be as dominating as it was the last go-round? I don't really see that happening. If anything, I actually see it from a booker of an even-up matchup, all right, to the point that Brock Lesnar, I can see a physical change in his demeanor during the match when he realizes, oh, the same crap I was trying to do before, this is a different type of John Cena that I'm getting. He's definitely going to be taken back by it. But when it's all said and done, and I'm hoping that the envelope really gets pushed on this one simply because it's Brock Lesnar. I'm hoping that it gets to a point where John Cena, he just at one point goes belligerent, okay, on Brock Lesnar. I mean, steel chair. People, I need to see some blood. You're telling me you're gonna go into this match, you're looking to just beat somebody, you're looking to kick their ass, you're looking to just destroy the hell out of them, then I need to see something that's really gonna deliver. And I think a lot of fans, now that I'm saying this to you, and you are loving the idea I'm putting out there, I think you guys would agree with me that, yeah, John Cena's gonna beat Brock Lesnar's ass. But if I was booking this, I would actually have Brock Lesnar win by disqualification as a result of John Cena just losing his bunkers, just losing his marbles, and he's just having at it. And Brock Lesnar will be retaining his championship that way. Now, the ramifications of that. Does this mean that John Cena gets fined by the WWE? Honestly, I think it would be kind of badass if something like that were to happen. It would also be kind of nice if maybe a scenario were to play out where John Cena, he tries to come out the next night and he says, look, I kept my promise. I said what I was going to do. It did go down. I beat Brock Lesnar's ass. And maybe John Cena could kind of come back on the rebound a little bit and say, for me, it wasn't much about the WWE Championship, although I wish I could have maintained my composure to make sure I get the job done, but I proved to everybody that ever doubted me that I was going to go in there and I was going to beat Lesnar's ass. He may still be the champion, but look who's here in front of you guys tonight. And maybe this could make out some type of a scenario where maybe Triple H, Stephanie, maybe they get in the face of John Cena. Maybe they inform him they don't approve of the actions that he took against Lesnar, and that there's going to be some serious ramifications of it as a result, as far as fines go and all that. And we could see John Cena try to make the argument that based on what he did to Lesnar at the pay-per-view, he should be in a position where he should get another shot at Brock Lesnar. Enter Lana representing Rusev, and that is kind of pretty much how maybe you can get John Cena out of the picture, because at this point I think we're probably going to end up seeing some type of a tournament come about where there's going to be a tournament / battle royal to crown a new #1 contender to take on Brock Lesnar at the next pay-per-view. Who could that person be? Again, the domino effect that I've been playing out, all right? Go back. Look at the card that I've tackled so far. I've pretty much stayed with every single body to retain their championship except for one person, and that's Sheamus. I think at this point, Sheamus is a very, very damn good contender that could be named the #1 contender to take on Brock Lesnar. I mean, Brock Lesnar is a physical beast of a specimen. Sheamus has proved during the times that he was the WWE, and most importantly when he was the World Heavyweight Champion, that when it comes to being physical, he can dish it out, he can take it. Hell of a guy right there. Does that mean he's going to be the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion? No. But as far as who could that next opponent be to take on right now. So for that reason, that's one of the main reasons why I actually have Sheamus losing to Cesaro. Okay, Sheamus, he's got that whole nice baby face thing going on. His face is out there for the don't be a bully, be a star. He's doing the Kmart commercials. He's got the 1-800 fella thing. He looks like a big, kind of cool, colorful character who, if you piss off, he's going to knock your teeth down your throat. All right, and I think that matchup between Sheamus and Lesnar would be freaking badass. It'd probably be one that a lot of fans probably wouldn't see coming. But that's my grand scope of how I'm looking at things. We also need to make sure we throw in an honorable mention. Seth Rollins, he's going to have his match. Might not be against Roman Reigns, but I could definitely see something coming about with Dean Ambrose. How that all plays about. Honestly, I can see a scenario play out where Seth Rollins, not prepared for Dean Ambrose, he might settle for a count out or whatever, and Dean Ambrose wins that way. But look for Dean Ambrose. I think that's probably a no-brainer to show up at this event as well. One more time, let's recap for you guys. Jericho, I have him losing to Randy Orton. Will it be with a little bit of help from Christian? We shall see. Usos, I have them retaining against Goldust and Stardust. Rusev will go over Mark Henry. Meanwhile, Paige will retain her Divas Championship over AJ Lee, Nikki Bella. Look for Brie to make some type of a cameo. Miz will retain, Dolph Ziggler will retain over Miz. Do expect cameos from Sandow and R-Truth. I think they got something golden going on right there. Once again, Sheamus will lose the United States Championship to Cesaro, which will then set up a domino effect for him to partake in some type of a battle royal or tournament to crown a new number one Brock Lesnar at the next pay-per-view. His championship over John Cena. Meanwhile, you take John Cena, maybe you can put him in that tournament as well, but Sheamus will still come out on top. Somewhere in the mix of that tournament, we'll probably see Rusev maybe sabotage John Cena into advancing or whatever, and then John Cena basically one good turn deserves another, and then that's pretty much how you have John Cena out of the title picture and instead work on that match with Rusev. Assuming that WWE is not able to get Kurt Angle. Do they even want Kurt Angle is the other question. That's how I'm looking at it. I definitely want to get you guys' take on what you think is going to be coming about from this pay-per-view event that's going to be happening. I can actually go through a couple of quick comments right now for you guys because I do see we have a decent amount of people here. Real quickly here. MVP, who do you think Rusev's new opponent would be? Well, we already told you right there, so I already told you that. Ben, I think it's just me. The live stream messing up. If the stream is messing up for anybody else, please let me know. And most importantly, we will have the audio-only version of this. It is recording as we speak right now. We'll actually have it be available for you guys to check out on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. It will be available on all those respective platforms. Audio, no problem, no lagging whatsoever. All right, I'll make sure I have the link be available for you guys to check out. That's really it. Dream Warrior, you're giving us for our show and all that. We love that. All right, so that is pretty much going to do it for now. But you can go ahead and keep those comments coming below. Let me know what you think is going to happen at Night of Champions. If you're on point with all your predictions, I'm coming up in. You'll catch that at 7:50. Oh, correction, that you'll be able to catch that at 10:50 p.m. Eastern this Sunday, or as soon as the pay-per-view goes off the air. Join us here live on YouTube for all the very latest in wrestling news and beyond. Be kind, rewind. We got great episodes for you guys. Check the dash you need is in the episode description. Make sure you show the plus face give about our content and subscribe to us because we're always doing our best to break news, do some really cool slamming reviews, have some fun and insightful interviews for you guys to check out here on a week-to-week basis. That is going to do it. Until next go round, please be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. See you for that Night of Champions post-show this Sunday. Everybody, take care.